And just like that, baby, we officially live on the official Wydoe podcast with your boy Wydoe. And tonight is a very special episode. I got some very special people close to my heart. Listen, guys, I'm here with the legendary Maxon family. That's Coach Maxon. That's the Snipa Twins, Christopher Maxon. Coach, how we feeling first and foremost?
Thank you so much. Coming to our home court here,
Live from Central,
I'm so grateful that you came to our home, but we still have to get to your studio as well. I always want to see what you guys do there.
How you guys feeling, man? The Snipa Twins,
It's great to be on the show. Thank you for having us, man. Very excited.
Right here in the home gym. Now, Coach, how did you become the coach of Fort Pierce Central? I remember you were my original middle school teacher, okay, back in the days, real Southern Oaks teacher right here. How did you become the head coach of the Fort Pierce Central Cobras?
I was an assistant over at IRSC with Coach Leatherwood, who was a legendary coach, won over 800 games, and I was with him 5 or 6 years, and my daughter was just being born, and the twins were we were all just trying to figure out how to make it as a family with my wife, and you know, just being there every day. And it just worked out to where, you know, it was something that was in my neighborhood. Central always, I remember Coach Pick and Kareem would always say, hey, Central always got talent. If there's ever a chance that you want to go back to high school, think about Fort Pierce Central, because of, you know, always having some quality and being a 7A school with thousands of kids to work with some of the talents. So I ended up getting the job under Mr. Smith, who was my principal at the time. And, you know, he was cool because he looked out for us, he was worried about teachers first. It was all about education. You know, basketball was secondary, but he learned to really trust me and our program. And between him and Jay Stewart and Coach Crespo, you know, they allowed us to do our thing here, and it just opened things up, and we became very successful these last 5, 6 years here at Central. So
come on now. Now, guys, I usually try to go chronological on my show. We got legends in the building. We got Coach Max. I was going to split this up into 2 interviews, but we can't do it. So we're going to go all over the place, bounce around with this show. I'm super excited. Coach Max, I'm going to ask what everybody wants to know. Do you ever get them mixed up, or do you just call them twins to be safe? Keep it real now.
Well, when they were younger, I remember my wife would paint their toenails and fingernails. It was hard when they were younger. And then one day, the reason why, you know, we had to really make a commitment to basketball, because these kids are playing cops and robbers in the neighborhood. They were on the bikes. And I'm thinking to myself, we got to get them in the gym. We got to get them in the gym. And they're, you know, they're being typical kids in first grade. So Christopher, one day, he jumps in like a green recyclable trash container. And they were playing, and all of a sudden he got smashed, and he came home with this big cut on the back, on the side of his eye.
On my eye, yeah.
So even now today, when they get haircuts, it's hard to determine, you know, consider who they are. But then I just go to that.
You got that scar.
That scar will help me through it.
He tipped over the recycling bin. His face was covered in blood. Of blood. It was so much.
And I remember that day because I was telling my wife, either we got to move, we got to get new friends for these kids, because they're not doing enough. They're being typical kids, and to really make it in any sport. And we had this access to the gym. I said, you gotta prioritize. You know, I always taught that growing up. I had a great high school coach, Coach Bud Greb, and he would talk about, hey man, you gotta figure out birds of a feather flock together. You stand by the garbage can, you smell like garbage. You gotta direct your time toward the right things and prioritize what's important. But at the time, they didn't think basketball was important, but I sort of had a vision for what they could become because of the access they gave us here at Central.
Now, you mentioned the old days, these young boys playing manhunt. Now, I first met the Maxon twins when they were about 5 years old. I'm going to Coach Maxon to go summer practice and tryouts, right? And he's bringing the boys out here doing 2-ball drills on the side of the court. Little prodigies. It was clear they were the next up. But I want to ask, youngest days that you guys can remember when you guys were little kids, did you always want to be basketball players, or is that something that your dad pushed you into?
We hated basketball. We really did. Like, he would have basketball on the TV. He coached a player named Zabian. He would be on the TV, and we just we didn't even want to watch it. We didn't even want to watch basketball.
You know, when you're a jit, you're just like everywhere. You have no idea. Like, we didn't know what basketball meant. Like, you know, what it could do for us at the time. We just wanted to have fun, go outside, act like little rascals. We used to be crazy. And then just as we got older and matured, we realized, you know, we could be something at this game. And with our dad being a coach, and, you know, having access to this beautiful gym all these years, we were like, you know, we can get in here whenever. Why don't we make the most of it, see what we can do? Yeah, and at the time, we were like, so we weren't always this tall, you know. And then our dad, he's not that tall. So we were
Where
like,
did it come from, Coach? What happened?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure if someone came while I was at work. We had the.
Nah, they look just like it. No question on that.
Yeah, my wife says that she thinks that I had the kids during the pregnancy. Yeah, that's something we always wonder how they became, taller. We just did a lot of praying, man.
Yeah, we used to pray to get
every
to
night.
6 foot.
It was, people would pray for certain things, but we'd always pray for height.
Yeah. Shit, I used to hold onto my bed and try to like stretch myself out as a kid. I don't know if it worked, I got pretty tall.
Yeah, we do that too.
It worked, right?
Yeah, hang from the bar.
Now, Coach, obviously you have a beautiful daughter as well. So for you, were you nervous at all when you found out you're going to have twin boys?
Well, actually, they were triplets at one time.
Wow.
So we were just knowing that, whatever God's will was and that we could handle it or not. But either way, it was we were in for the long haul. And, my daughter, when she was born, she was the princess and took over, and everyone devoted so much attention toward her. But when the twins were born, she sort of said, Dad, we got to send them back. Well, she wanted to send them back the first couple of days because of all the attention, because she was our princess, and she still is. But at the same time, when someone's twins or triplets come out, it's something special like that. But she's been their greatest
biggest
fan. She's always there for them. She's always supporting them, and she always took it upon herself to always think of family first when it came to supporting
Shout out
them.
to Cam. Now, I want to ask you, Coach Maxon, let's go back in your time. You've been a huge inspiration in my life, Coach. You was one of the first people that showed me what tenacity is and how much passion you can have about basketball. In middle school, Coach was telling me, Wyatt, you can make some money off this game, son. You can, look at your life, son. The reason I don't wear slides on the court, Coach, is because of Coach Maxon. We don't do no walking on a basketball court because of Coach Maxon. You got to respect this court. Coach, where did you get that from? Who did you look up to? Who did you get that passion for this great game?
Man, what a great question. I really haven't talked about him enough in my life because he really impacted me in such a great manner, because my high school coach, Bud Greb, he was a former Marine. And I remember being in class, 9th, 10th, 11th grade, thinking, oh, my God, we got practice today. He's going to put us through it. And he just really just pushed us and talked to us about not taking time off, about if you're not working, someone else is, about respecting the game and being a killer on the court and still being a gentleman off the court. But, you're trying to win. You're trying to compete and do all you can, be a good sportsman. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win. And then you're treated as such. And he became a big part of my life. He actually was the best man at my wedding. He was a social studies teacher, so I pretty much emulated his life. It was him, because he had that impact on me, because when I was 16, 17, 18, he took me to Bobby Knight's camp. We would drive to Syracuse. Like, he showed me things, and he would always tell me, hey, man, this game could do great things for you. And then I was impacted by my Pahokee kids. My first job coaching was at Pahokee High School in 1998. And when I showed up, Anquan Bolden was there, going to be Mr. Football the next year. And then we had Division I players. Kid went to college at Charleston. Another kid went to University of Maine. And then I had a 7th grader, because at the time, Pahokee was set up like an LPA where you could attend from 7th to 12th grade. So I had 7th graders that were just hungry, and they'd come into the gym, and my players would bring their little brothers in. And then I met Zabian Dowdell, and he pretty much changed my life, because for a kid that was very tiny, 5'7", 5'8", telling me, Coach, I'm going to be in the NBA, man. I'm going to make it. And I was always honest. I said, man, you got work to do. You got to grow. We were fortunate that his brother was 6'5" and his other brother was 6'6", so we thought that there was some, area for him to grow. Right. But then he just lived to get life, man. It was my wife and I were living out in the acreage, and I remember Zabian and I, we got to know the janitor really well at Pahokee High, and he gave me all access to the keys. We were in there 5:30 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. I was the best coach I could be because I was single. I was hungry, man. My wife was on board. That was my fiance at the time.
Right,
we were all
right.
in.
I was single.
Yes.
My fiance.
It's all based on how you spend your time. And I don't want, even to this moment right here, to me, this is the greatest place in the world to be.
Yep.
And Zabian did that for me. He ended up being Palm Beach County Player of the Year, two different occasions. 3A State of Florida Player of the Year. Went to Virginia Tech on a scholarship. They were in the Big East. Then they went over to the the ACC. So he played at the Garden. Then he ended up playing for Phoenix Suns. Like everything he told me he was going to accomplish, I was right there in the front watching as a front row seat. So you can't tell me anything that can't not be accomplished, because I've seen it with my own eyes, that this kid who had no chance in the world, but he outworked the world, Wydoe. When I say the world, man, it's just, that's all he believed, you know. He slept, he controlled his women. He had a lot of girls that loved him. He was a scholar athlete. Everything he did was straight A's. He did it at a high level. And I just had that vision that, man, whenever I had a kid, I'm going to try to emulate how Zabian lived his life and how he was able to, you know, make basketball a priority when all these distractions are around you, man.
Yeah, and I love that. Like I said, Coach would see us nonchalant walking through the hallways. Look at your life, son. Look at your life, son. How you care? Look at your life, son. So it was great impact, Coach. I appreciate you for always. Now, the boys, I want to ask you guys, as basketball players coming up, a lot of times you have to play against yourself, hold yourself accountable to get better. You guys got a twin brother that's doing the same thing at all times. So can you speak about having a brother getting better and elevating at the same time as you?
That's a good question. So, you know, when we talk about trying to hold each other to a standard, like after a bad game, you know, we used to really get on each other bad. He has a bad shooting night. If I'm going to be real, I'll be like, man, what the hell was that? You didn't come through.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we'll hold each other like that. We'll be real with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time.
There's been games where he's had 30 and I've had like 8, or I've had 20 and he's had like 6 or something like that. He's gone like 0 for 12. Like, as shooters, you know, you have a bad night like that, and we always hold each other accountable. You know, we used to play a lot of one-on-one when we were younger, but you know, as brothers, we got into it a lot.
Yeah. We actually yesterday, I had to go to the dentist because so back 8th grade going to 9th grade summer.
It was COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID.
So 7th grade going into 8th grade.
Yeah, somewhere around that time, but it used to get grimy out there in the driveway. We were playing one-on-one, and we got into a fight, and he's on top of me. He headbutted me in my tooth.
Yeah.
And my tooth, it lost color, so
yeah,
I had to get a root canal, and then it was losing color again recently, so I had to go to the dentist. My dad's sitting there in the car watching. He's like recording. He's recording.
No, there's an actual video of the fight that happened that day. He has it on his phone.
Dang.
It was crazy. Yeah.
I just, you know, sooner or later, you don't want anyone to get out of hand, but it's just, hey,
you gotta let it happen.
You gotta let them go.
Because if it doesn't, it's gonna happen every day, and then sooner or later, you know, just that's another way of holding each other accountable. Because you're trying to win, man. You're trying to.
Now, Coach, what's it like having your boys on your team? Okay, varsity basketball players. I want to ask you, if I was someone that did not know you, did not know the Twins, and if they didn't look just like you, could I have walked into a practice and seen Central? Would I have known who your Twins were, who your boys were, or would I have not known?
Well, I think what stands out about them, even from a younger year, because I've been preparing this forever, man. Honestly, I've been here since, I've been a coach since '98. They were born in 2006, so I really had this plan in mind. And I realized one thing, that if my kids aren't the hardest workers on the team, it's not going to work out from a coaching standpoint, being a head coach and having your kids, you know, being accountable for each other. I'm talking about the hardest worker, the first one here in the gym, the last one to leave, 2 a day, sometimes 3 a days, just letting people know and leaving your mark by your work ethic and not talking, daddy has the keys, or, you know, we could come back in tonight. No, these kids were, from day one, they constantly wanted to be in the gym, and they made my life easier from the standpoint of that. You know, you as a coach, you want to be an extension of your players. Yep. But sometimes, you know, as you get older, I used to be able to demonstrate and play, but now, you know, I needed them to really show what I want. I'm talking about effort. I'm talking about how you close out. I'm talking about high hands. I'm talking about not taking plays off. And that's one thing that they made my life easier, because a lot of times coaches will come to me, damn, I hate coaching my kid. Yeah. Or, you know, what do you think about coaching your kid? And honestly, it's because of their great character, and I'm not taking any credit, because basketball, it can wear you out mentally. But they came to work every day with humility, shut their mouth, worked hard. They never called me coach. They called me dad. We're not being fake about it. Right. I'm your dad. This is how we're going to work. I love this game more than life itself. This game can impact and change your life. Let's get down. You know, when you're the leader, you can't be pointing fingers. You got to take all the smoke. Everything comes through you. So that was one of the things I wanted them to understand is that, hey, man, everything starts with you being the hardest workers. Don't let your family down. We always talk about, you know, pride makes the difference and represent Central, but mainly you're representing that last name on the back of your shirt.
That's right. How you were raised.
Yeah, it always comes back to how you were raised and how you look at things, your approach.
And Coach, is it important for you to separate, once you guys get home, be able to separate coach and then be able to be dad? Because obviously you're a coach. When I went home after a bad game, my coach didn't see me anymore, so now I'm back with family.
Said.
For you, you're still coached. Were you able to separate, I'm their dad, let's not keep on about the game?
It was definitely rough. When they were younger, man, we would, you know, I would just give it to them. And then I realized, when I said that, meaning like, I would just be honest. To me, love is being honest, especially with your own kids
Tough
or
love, baby.
anyone. Just be honest. And I would tell them what they did wrong, why they could, you know, we couldn't lose this game, what you have to improve upon. And I was real adamant when they're younger years. And then I started saying to myself, man, I don't know how this is going to play out. If, you know, maybe they'll just start turning on me and not love this game, you know. So I had to change my approach. And it was sort of like a family thing with my wife and I sitting down saying, man, we can't let this get out of hand.
Yeah.
And, you know, they started to become more adamant about competing and understanding what I expected as a not as a parent, but as a coach. Mm-hmm. You know, just there's certain things that are non-negotiable, man. You got to play your ass off every possession. You're talking, you're looking for, you're playing for your teammate, you're communicating. It's always a next play mentality. And you can't take plays off. So that's what's gotten them to this point is just those little things because they impact winning in so many different ways that I think college coaches really became attentive toward them.
Absolutely. Now, boys, Christian, Christopher, I want to ask you guys. You guys are obviously one of the greatest Fort Pierce Central Cobra basketball players of all time at this point. But I want to ask you guys, once you got here and to your end of your career, what does it mean to be a Fort Pierce Central Cobra to you?
It was great coming in as a freshman. I wanted to be on varsity, but I knew even if my dad was coach, it wasn't going to be handed to me. So I had to come in and outwork everybody, and just be a dog because, you know, they call it being a freshman being soft. You know, you come in, you defer. So I just had the same mentality every year to come in and just kill everybody. It starts here and then carries over. And then it's just great. It was great being a Cobra. I love this school. I have so much pride for this school, and just being able to play here, get in the gym all the time. It's nothing but love for Central.
Yeah. So he's been the coach here since 2012. So there's been like 10 years before that where we were just in here every day. So it was like, man, we were looking forward to coming here for so long. So when we actually got here, it was like, wow, this is amazing. And then 4 years went by so fast. So.
Yeah. So you guys, did you feel like high school went by really fast? I feel like yesterday you guys were 5 years old, double dribbling on the side of the court. Did high school go by fast?
Yes, very fast.
It blew by. It did. Everybody said it would, and I was like, nah. And then, now we're here, about to go to college in 2 weeks. So.
And now what's that like? Congratulations, Lynn University. You got 2 stars coming down. What was that decision like, and why Lynn University?
That's a good question. Well, so we got our offer last summer in Gainesville.
In Gainesville, yeah.
Coach Morosco, great coach. He was the former coach at IRC, so he's kind of had an eye on us. He came out, he gave us an offer, and then we went on a visit probably a month or two later in September, and we just loved everything about it. Just like small campus feel. It's not huge, and
we love
Boca.
Their play style is like exactly how we play. Just like give and goes, shooting a lot of threes. They shoot so many threes, and that's what we're known for. So
yeah, he says just let it fly every time. He doesn't like dribbling. He just wants to move that ball and shoot. And I'm like, I love it.
And he believes in us. So like we were getting recruited by a lot of like small D1s. We've had so many coaches come in the gym and recruit us for so long, but he gave us the offer after watching us for just one weekend, and we were just like, wow. So then he believed in us, so we believe in him.
Shout out Coach Morosco for taking a chance on us.
Yeah.
We're
I
going to
think
work
it's a
hard
blessing that you guys got offers to come together as a team, as a unit, both you guys. Was there ever any thought of potential split up between you guys, or are you always going to be together?
It was never a thought to split up, not once. So we always knew that we were going to go together.
Yeah, we play better together. We bring each other up.
You guys say you have a unspoken connection on the court that other people don't have?
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
We get that question a lot too.
Yes, definitely. Not even close.
Shout out to my brother Alan Bundy. Me and him had a connection that no one could, no one knew, but we knew.
Yeah.
Wherever he was, I'd be able to be in the right
Yep.
spot. So you guys, not only just because they're twins, obviously, but it's great basketball players.
Yeah,
I could feel when a pass was coming to me. I was like, I already know it.
we don't even we do hand signals sometimes, but sometimes all you need to do is I just give
Give a
them
nod,
look.
give a
Just
stare.
look at them. We're the kings of 2-on-2 because of that.
Obviously, Coach Maxon is one of the hypest guys of all time, okay? Look at your life, son. But I want to ask game day, Coach. What does pregame look like for Coach Maxon? Are you hype? Are you focused? What's pregame look like?
Yeah, it's
Hype and focus.
well, game days are difficult for me because, throughout the whole course of the day, I'm thinking about it. The game, with the 25 game schedule, you're just trying to knock out one at a time and not think too far ahead of, but there's always that Centennial game you're thinking about, or, Martin County, Vero, all these great teams and programs in our area. PSL always plays us hard. Treasure Coast, they're well coached as well. All these different teams, you're just thinking, man, there's a lot on the line, and all these coaches understand what I'm saying, because you devote so much of your life and sacrifice so much of your mindset and your thinking and your preparation that you never really feel like your players are truly ready and prepared. But as these kids started becoming older, from freshmen, and then all of a sudden, we had a whole senior class of 6, 7, 8 seniors. Then you started giving them more leeway to just be more of a facilitator than a coach. Mainly, it's just like we talked about earlier, is that, man, when the lights come on and it's time to play, are we working on our cone drills, or are we just trying to, be able to relate to game situations and handle that pressure? Because pressure is a privilege. I love that saying.
And it makes
it's a
diamonds
beautiful
now,
thing.
Coach. Twins, I want to ask you, is there any game that you guys wish you can go back and replay? Any one game that sticks out you wish you can go back and replay one time?
Championship game this year.
Yeah,
Just
definitely
wanna win the
that.
Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe just before the game, try to help everybody lock in some more. Everybody was, so focused. I mean, not focused, but they just thought it was going to come easy. And I just wish would have told everybody to focus, lock in some more, stop being so playful. It's time for business.
We had beaten them by maybe 20, probably about 10 days before, maybe 2 weeks before. And it's not like we were so confident, because believe me, Centennial comes to play. They're always
they
ready
do.
for
We
us.
knew it was going to be a challenge, but some of the players on our team thought it was going to come easier than it was.
Right.
But we knew what was up.
And when your expectations are high for each other, you got to, you only get that one moment, man. You got to raise your game and elevate. And
Now, Coach, shout out to class of 2013. You already know I'm representing class of 2013 PSL. You've been coach for a long time, Coach. You've seen a lot of great players. I want to ask, were there any players that stuck out to you that gave you problems that you had to look at, like, hey, look at the scoring sheet, we got to prepare for this guy? Anybody, local guys around the area that kept you up at night?
Man, so many of them. We could go from Treasure Coast kids. I remember when I first started, Treasure Coast just had some grimy kids. They worked hard. Justin
Raymond
Nichols,
had 'em right.
King, the Garrick, the Kent boys, man, all the kids. Tyreek later on, but then Kyle Shapiro, those kids, Justin Nichols, those kids they knew how to play together. You could tell that they were seasoned, that they put a lot of years in together. That's how you build a good program. You got to put it together from the 6th grade, 5th grade, travel ball. Those kids played together forever between Kyle, Justin, and Garrett and those guys. And then Justin James, wow, he was amazing. We were just talking about him. He would get to the rim and get to the middle and pull up that mid-range any given moment. How about the Martin County kids, the Queen boy? He was about a legit 5'6". I remember one time I just looked at him. I said, man, you're a bad man. You know why? He came in he had padding underneath his shorts. He was ready to bump.
for battle.
He was initiate contact. Right before the game, I'd look at him. He was all padded up, ready to go, man. And that's why I bought into pads, because I remember kids that always the best players on the team, or the opposite team or my own team, they had padding. You were just ready to go,
Right,
man.
yeah, Frank
you were
used to wear pads.
Remember how he used to wear pads? And then you guys with Dominic, Dom, and Alan, and you guys, and Mark, you guys the shooters. We had some difficult times. I remember Vero had some tough
Charlie
players
Miller,
too. Oh my
they
goodness.
were nasty.
And then Henry Kidd from
Shelvick,
Sebastian.
shout out Shelvick.
I remember my first year as a coach here at Central. We started out like 2-7. And I just believed, and we had a good team. I was with Doc, and
Shout out Dr. J, my
Dr.
guy.
J was the man. Yeah.
What was that
Eugene,
like, Coach? Obviously, Central's always been a football powerhouse. Did you
Yeah.
feel like when you came here, you had to create a new wave of basketball standard?
Well, I thought, from what I accomplished at Pahokee, we had some great success there, and I had to coach under 3 state football championships. So my first couple of years there, we were winning state titles. Anquan took his team to the state championship. So I wasn't getting my kids until like January. So I remember we would lose early on, and then I was so reluctant to go again to another football school like Central, because I knew how hard I had to handle, trying to get my guys to believe at Pahokee, because those kids were such great athletes. And a lot of them understood the 12-month theory of playing every day, but at the same time, they had football, they had track. These kids were so talented. I think I coached almost 9 or 10 NFL guys that came out or taught them at Pahokee. That's the kind of kids, the caliber of kids I was dealing with. Being a basketball coach, I'm coaching NFL kids that later on became that way. But I just feel like, we're here for these kids. I'm here for these kids. I'm going to figure out a way to win, but at the same time, enjoy your football.
Yeah.
Let's win. Let's win for the school. I think a lot of times when you win as a football team, it promotes other schools or the other sports as well to end up doing well as also. So it was always just, support your football team, support all the teams as much as you can. And when it's our time and you're here, man, you just got to be locked in.
Now, boys, I want to ask, obviously, I went and played college basketball. I just wanted to go play college basketball. I wasn't really there to be a student athlete, let's say. But you could be real with me. Dad's here. Are you guys ready to be student athletes, or will you be athletes that just happen to go to school?
No. Student athlete. I get my work done in the classroom first. I feel like that's what kind of separated us too with recruiting, because we take our school serious. Yeah. I actually had a 5.2 GPA. He probably had.
I had like a 5.1. I got a B in pottery my freshman year.
Because he didn't pay the $50.
Yeah, I had to pay $50 for to keep my clay, and then she just threw it away. So I got like a F on the thing, and it gave me a B. So
yeah, but I'm definitely gonna get my schoolwork done before anything, and I'm gonna work on my time management, set a schedule where I can still get my work in on the court, but also handle my schoolwork as well.
Yeah, we did IRC classes for a little bit, so we already have like a taste of what college is like a little bit. So.
Yeah, with the workload.
What was school like for you guys, going to school? Did you feel a little pressure knowing that people knew that your dad was the basketball coach? Did you feel a little shade towards people? Did people shade you a little bit? Or
Yeah, some people did. Yeah. They feel a certain type of way about being cut.
We had to cut so many kids. There were hundreds of kids that come out.
I was here for that, yeah.
Yeah, and it's tough sometimes because, sometimes kids think they're better than they are. But we always say, hey, what's good for you might not be what's good for the team. And that's the difficult part of coaching, is that you love these kids so much, but at the same time, you have a job to do to cut. And it affected me more than anyone else.
Yeah.
They understood because, you had to be ready. Yeah, but at the same time, a lot of kids think they're better than they are, or they didn't see how their role fit into what we were doing here.
Right. And now what's it going to be like for you, Coach, to see your boys become college basketball players? Are you excited to go watch that? Are you nervous to be from the crowd, not coaching them anymore?
That's a tough call, because I think about their development every day. And yesterday I came in, we were watching Christopher was playing, and I saw some different things that he did. I'm constantly trying to watch what they're doing. And the great thing about them is they take any type of criticism, whether it's, any criticism, just telling you because they know we're in it for the long haul. We want to get better. Yeah. Their parents love them. Their coach loves them. He's going to be honest to me. And they take it in stride. They'll say, yes, sir. Yeah, coach. Yeah, dad, I got you. I'll work on it. And then they actually apply it. So they've been great kids as far as character. I'm looking forward to other people coaching them.
To the boys, Snipa Twins, I want to ask, obviously you guys got a legendary coach you can look up to, and Coach Maxon was a real hooper too. Nasty crossover, that head up, boy, you already know. Who did you guys look up to? Who basketball players did you want to emulate and be like growing up?
Ooh, not really a lot. I mean, growing up, everybody's like, oh, you should watch basketball because you play, but we didn't really watch a lot of basketball. Yeah. But towards my older years, like where I am now, I want to play like Tyler Hero. Yeah, Tyler Hero. He's a dog. Mm-hmm. I want to play like him.
Yeah.
He can shoot it. He can score.
Yeah.
What about you, Christopher? Who you like?
I just like anyone who's like a pure point guard and just wants to get their teammates better. That's who I just want to play like. can't really think of anyone off the top of the head.
Now, I've obviously I've been real back and forth between AAU and is it getting watered down these days? Is it kind of hurting the kids? If you're going to get recruited, obviously it's a great method, but is it improving your basketball skills is my thing. So to the boys, I want to ask, as players, did the games mean more for you on the AAU circuit, or did they mean more for you as a Central, Fort Pierce Central Cobra?
Definitely Central.
And why?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you're getting recruited, it's not about, well, like when you're playing travel ball, it's not always about the win. It's about, like, you know, personal performance. Because, you know, obviously you want to win, but it's about how well you play. But when you wear that Central uniform, you want to win every time, you know. It's not always about the, like, in travel ball, we play against some really great teams. So, you know, obviously we weren't going to win every time. But we had a lot of success with Florida Pro. But, you know, we were always, you know, we played in venues where there was like 100 college coaches there watching. That's amazing experience for us. Marcus McGee got us there, so that's definitely something that, you know, we played in front of them in travel ball that you would never get at Central. You know, obviously like 1 or 2 coaches maybe for like one game, but.
Well, with travel ball, with our team, it wasn't a local team, so it was kind of like a business, I would say. Like we would just show up, you know what I mean? And we had to come ready to ball. It's not like it was a process where, you know, we were raised with these guys, and we were playing with new guys all the time, so we just kind of had to adapt. But with Central, you know, we were with these guys every day, and yeah, like he said, the Central games meant more winning, but travel ball, you had to worry about your performance more. So playing travel ball, I mean, it's a lot for exposure if you're on the right team, but if you're not getting out there for exposure and you're just going out there to
just play. It's
yeah,
not
just
really
play.
worth it.
I see a lot of people just kind of, it's like disrespect to the game.
Right. And that's my whole thing, and I want to ask you, Coach Maxon, because obviously AAU is a tool that you should be used. A lot of people will be seen. Unfortunately, the college season is the same as the high school season, so they can't come watch you because they're in the middle of their season. AAU, summer, they're able to come watch. But Coach Maxon, for you, what is your thoughts? Because I just don't like to see, if you're a top-rated guy, it makes sense. But if not, I don't like to see the kids these days that only play travel and train and don't even play public school anymore. So what do you think the kid gets more out of, playing travel or playing for a public school?
I think you could gauge yourself better when you're playing for a public school because you have to beat out certain people. You know, I've noticed a lot of coaches, they could create a team maybe just for their son or daughter and then water it down by playing in lower level tournaments. You know, there's levels to everything we always talk about. Different types of homes, different types of food, cars, travel ball leagues, travel ball tournaments. You know, there's EYBL you're playing against, or you're playing at a local tournament. So sometimes it's hard to gauge how good your team actually is because you come home with a trophy and you're 5-0, but who did you really play and who did you really play in front of to gain that exposure? So that's one thing that I'm down about with travel ball is that it's like a money grab a lot of times for directors that just create tournaments and events, and you know, even though the kids are playing and they're being thrown in the fire and competing, but at the same time you're playing against you're winning 88-12, or you're thinking you're blowing people out, but really you're not getting any better because the competition is not as fierce and you're not being challenged, and it gives you sort of like you're not really being able to gauge how good you really are as a player and as a team.
And it usually doesn't adapt to the next level because college isn't like AAU. You know what I mean? It just isn't. AAU to me is glorified rec ball, fast break. Let's just get out in the open. You guys have seen Lynn. You guys have seen the college level.
Yeah.
It looks a lot different, right?
Yes, it does.
It does.
That's the conference Lynn plays in, man. Sunshine State Conference, probably one of the better conferences in America, Division II, and a lot of the Division II better conferences, they're even better than some of the D1 lower conferences, and they have a lot of work to do. And you know, they're in here every day. We're working out. They've been here 3 times?
Yeah.
They've been doing 3-a-days. Coach Crespo's been great for us. A lot of us in the weight room. They live in the weight room. So we're trying to prepare as much as we can. So
yeah, definitely put on some weight. These boys have been in the gym doing their thing, eating right. How's the diet look like? You guys
anything,
right? Let's go.
It's
high metabolism.
Yeah.
Well, we were down a lot. Like our weight was not anywhere to where it needed to be, so we kind of just had to dirty bulk, eat everything. We put on a good 20 pounds.
Yeah, after the season we were 155. Now we're like 175. So
Yeah.
Just eating whatever we could, protein shakes and eggs, whole milk. That's it.
Yeah, but it's not like we're fat though. We would always come and work out and run it off. Yeah.
Now, obviously, boys, we got your legendary father here, but it's not just your father. What has your mom meant to you guys in your life and in your basketball career?
My mom's amazing. She's supportive. You know, it's hard with my mom being a wife to my dad, just always at the gym with us. You know, growing up, he wasn't in the house a lot, so she understands what it takes, and that means so much because, you know, she could easily just be like, nah, you can't go out all the time. You can't go to the gym. It's too late. Because we're here late, early. She just lets us go out whenever. And she always would. She didn't want us to get a job. She wasn't one of those moms that was like, you know, you got to go get a job. She was always helping us out, saying, go eat whatever. Just fill yourself up. And I just appreciate my mom so much. Yeah. Shout out my mom. Love you.
Come on now. Shout out to moms.
Yeah.
Coach Maxon, for you, how did you know you met the right one when you found love, Coach? I'm looking for it out there, okay? How did you know it was the right one and not just the next one?
So, man, well said, buddy. I met my wife at church. You know, I remember I was in my late 20s, and I was going to clubs and hanging out, wasting time. They didn't have any, like, there was no internet where you could do any online dating or anything.
Right, you had to pull up. He was really outside.
Yeah, so the day I met my wife, I was at a Baptist church in West Palm Beach, and she just stood out. She was, you know, by her voice also, she's sort of loud. But the day I met her, she had all her family there. There were like 12 family members there with her. So I went right down the line, shaking everyone's hands. They accepted me at first. You know, they ended up loving me.
Yeah.
They can't help but love me.
Come on now. Let's go back.
But at the same time, it was just, you know, that's a great question you say, because I fell in love from day one, man. I'm still, you know.
How long did it take before you asked her to marry her? Asked her to marry
Probably
you?
about a good 16, 18 months. Yeah, so I met her in like 98, and we got married in 2000. But, you know, just how she said my name, how she presented herself. She looked me in the eye. She called my name's Chris. She called me Chris. You know, it wasn't like she could talk about main ideas, current events, entertainment, sports. Like, it was more than, you know, her nails looked good. She was beautiful, her face. But at the same time, you know, she had more to offer. You know, as you get older, you tend to look at more things than just beauty. But she definitely was a knockout too, and still is. She's, you know, one of those type of girls you see the beauty in her. But yeah, man, it changed my life, because when you got a good woman, man, they're not going to make you do wrong. I'm not saying I was the best kid growing up. I had a lot of work to do and improve, but she got me right as far as, you know, just who she wants, you know, who she wants to be around too, you know. A million other guys could have married her. She could have married a million guys, but she chose me, so that was a
Come on, Coach. There's only one Coach Maxon now. There's only one Chris Maxon.
And it's just a lot of priority, man. You got to step your game up, you know, just
at all times. Now, Coach, I want to ask, going back to your teaching career, obviously as kids, boys were just kids going through school. We didn't really understand that some of these teachers go out of their pocket. They don't even make a lot to begin with. So anytime they bring a pizza party or donuts or do something, usually it's out of their pocket, out of their own terms. Coach Maxon used to do a lot of stuff for our class. We were actually one of the good classes for him. Monday, we passed the test, did our homework. He'd bring in donuts. For you, Coach, is that something that gets overlooked? And how important is it for coaches to do, or teachers to do things like that?
Oh, well, I'm glad you asked that, because teachers and coaches, it seems like they're looked upon as doing things for free, and it's acceptable, and it should be done that way. But as I became older as a teacher and a coach, I realized that, you know, my time is precious. And I realized that I was working with a lot of other people's kids more than my own. Yeah. And at the same time, you know, you have it's like a mission. When you're running in my class, I have a mission to my kids, but also to their parents. Like, a lot of my players and a lot of my students, they're not going to thank me for what I did. 10 years down the line, once they understand and get it. So those are the things that you live for, but you have to be yourself, man. You can't be fake. It's a rarity to find people that truly love this profession of teaching and seeing that light bulb, that moment of them understanding and really getting it. I live for that. I've always lived for that. And it's always caused me to go out of my way to help, even as a teacher mostly. I look at myself more as a teacher than a coach. I know you're a coach as well, but in the classroom, everything extends over, and then basketball becomes part of your life and it teaches you so many great things about living, handling responsibility, dignity when you lose, and class when you win, showing up on time. I'm always big on these guys about being on time, man, and managing your time and the impression that you leave if you're not on time. And they get it, they're working hard on doing those types of things.
And everybody, Coach, can see the great work you've done in raising these boys. Two great young men. And I want to say, Coach, sometimes, coaches are only known by the respected sport. But I've had anybody that's ever seen me do a video here at Central, any kid that went to Central, girl, boy, actor, football player, anybody that didn't even play basketball, they always say, man, Coach Maxon was the guy. I loved Coach Maxon. Whether they had you as a teacher, no matter what, they always loved Coach Maxon. But to the Snipa Twins, I want to ask you guys are on the basketball journey right now, but what do you guys want to be when you grow up?
We're kind of figuring out right now. I would love to play basketball for as long as possible. After college, go play overseas, give it a run. I just want to travel the world, play basketball. That's the dream. But, if reality hit, that doesn't work out, I've wanted to be a chiropractor for a few years now. Dr. Zanfini in Stewart, he gave us that
he inspired
vision.
Us,
Yeah, he's amazing. Whenever we got something, we're like, oh, our hip hurts. He's like, it's because of this, this, and this. And I'm like, oh, you're the man. Thank you so much.
Dr. Zanfini, he works on a bunch of athletes, like local athletes, and he just gets us right every time.
Yep. Whenever we got a problem, we're like, Dad, schedule us a chiropractor appointment with Dr. Zanfini. So I want to be like that, being able to help people cure their pain.
Yeah,
they
shout
got a
out
problem.
to him. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
And man, shout out to anybody out there. I think as kids, we all want to make the NBA, but the real goal should be basketball is my job. Basketball is my profession. Shout out to Chris Carter, Justin James, all those guys are literally living off this game, this great game of basketball, son. Look at your life, son. You can really do it out there,
Chris Carter's game. I wish the Twins could see Chris Carter. He came and worked out a couple times with us.
Yeah.
But Chris was so special, man. I remember coaching him in 6th, 7th grade. And he would do every drill correct, man. And he would put every emphasis and effort into every drill, trying to be perfect. And you don't see that with a lot of kids, to perfect a drill and actually go above and beyond and say that, all right, the next drill I'm going to do better. Or come in and say, I'm coming in unblemished. I'm not going to turn the ball over the whole practice. Or I'm going to be a good teammate and look out for my, Chris Carter was that kind of guy. It was always about others, not about him. And that's what they teach you, man. If you look out for others, it always comes back to you. And between he and his little brother, Brian, that's a great family, man.
Yeah.
Mom was amazing.
Now, Coach Maxon, if we were to go back 25 years ago and tell old Chris Maxon back then where you're at, what you're doing, what you have right now, would he have believed it back then?
I just fell in love with those Pahokee kids back in the 90s. It feels like I really made an impact on a lot of those kids because basketball does so much for you. It's amazing what it could show you. And we talk about that showing, and I learned through Zabian and watching how he lived his life playing in Europe. I remember him having my wife travel out. My wife and I go to Italy and Spain. We're traveling the world watching him play basketball. And I always had that vision. I always wanted to be a father. I always wanted my kids to play basketball, but also to use basketball as a tool to help you get things in life, And I grew up poor. We all have our little story, but without basketball, man, I don't know where I'd be as far as life. I remember my high school coach, he found me. I was my brother and I, my older brother and a few other friends, we're throwing rocks, trying to break windows at all these different old condemned buildings, and we were getting in trouble a lot, and he pretty much saved me. And I was a baseball, like football. He just constantly just had me in the gym. But I just knew always what basketball could do for you and how you could benefit from it. So that's what really pushed me. It was just that Pahokee mentality of seeing these kids have nothing and just go to work and push themselves. And all of a sudden, lives turn out incredible because they utilize sports.
Yeah.
And took a different approach in how they went about their business.
Question I want to ask to the twins that I think you just got to ask any twins that go to the same high school. They're graduated now. We're good. Did you guys ever go to each other's classes without anyone knowing?
Well,
undercover.
Same classes.
Yeah, we've always had. We've had all the same classes.
Yeah, just having the same classes makes it way easier because you can help each other on the work, and if someone takes a test before, you're like, this question's on it.
I always wanted them to go out with each other's girlfriends and see if their girlfriends would ever notice. I remember
that never happened.
When I was younger, there was I'd watch the Brady Bunch as a kid. There was an episode where Marge and Jan, they switched Marsha and Jan, and I was like, man, that'd be cool if the twins ever tried that with their girls.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I see you guys starting to golf. What do you guys do outside of basketball? What are the hobbies we got?
Golf.
Yeah, we picked up golfing recently. So
like 3 months ago.
Yeah, so every chance we get, we golf. I golfed yesterday. I golfed the day before. I did not golf today, but I make sure I get my workouts in. So if I golf a day, I'll get in here in the morning, I'll lift, and then I'll go golf. And then, you're out in that sun, you're tired. So maybe I'll take a nap or I'll come back and chill, but then I'll come back here. So I just make sure you got to keep that balance.
Yeah,
I started golfing about 2.5 years ago. I've been a golfer for 2 years, and I gave it up and played in a while. But you guys tell me if you agree or not. You guys are golfers now. I don't. Coach Maxey, let me know if I'm tripping. I do not believe that golfers are athletes.
What? Wow.
I'm sorry. It is a sport, but to me, I've seen some real athletes. I've seen some big fat golfers, some super skinny ones, all really good. I've seen some 80-year-old golfers, really good. So to me, I can't call them an athlete if a volleyball player, basketball player. To me, they're a very skilled sport player. They're very skilled. But an athlete, I can't give them that claim. What do you guys think? Am I wild for that?
I think you are wild for that because to me, to have the soft hands and just to feel and that constant muscle memory of doing it the same way every time, golf to me is probably one of the greater sports I've ever had to.
Like, are you talking about if you only play golf?
To me, I'm not here to say it's not hard. I don't think it's the hardest sport.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that. I don't agree.
You don't think golf's the hardest sport?
I do not. In my opinion, I think the great athletes aren't going to golf. They're going to go play football, baseball, basketball, and they're going to find golf later on in life. Like everyone right now, I wish I would have played golf in freshman year. I probably would have been a scholarship athlete because I was pretty damn good at golf real quick. So I think a lot of us wish we picked it up earlier. So I think if a lot of more people played golf, I think there'd be a lot more.
I'm glad I didn't pick up golf earlier because it would have
You might not have hooped.
Yeah, it would have distracted me because golf's one of those games so addictive.
It's not to any golfer. It's just my hot take opinion. I've seen too many really big, out of shape guys.
Yeah.
Phenomenal golfers.
Oh yes, definitely.
I don't see many out of shape, really good basketball players.
I see where you're coming from.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand you. Yeah.
So
that's just me.
Golfers, what would you see them as? You said
a very skilled, almost like a bowler, almost like a pitcher. A pitcher isn't the same as a baseball player. High-level pitchers, they don't do anything, they don't run, they don't practice, they're just a pitcher. So golfer is your own little thing.
It's mental toughness too. You have to look at different aspects of your, athleticism. It's a lot of times it's played with the head up. You got to think the game a lot more and anticipate problems and just doing it the same way and believing in yourself. It's just body of work, man. Everything is about reps on reps.
Yeah,
and just
golf
body
is
of
one
work.
of those sports you can't just
It's addicting. It's addicting. Be ready to grab your wallet out there, boys. It's one of them. Balls are expensive, clubs.
We got jobs this past part-time.
Just to pay for golf?
I think that's all we were paying for.
Dang near.
Just golf and maybe a meal every other day.
We live on a golf course, and we, because of being in the gym all the time, we went years without ever going out to golf. And I always had regrets, but as soon as the season ended, they wanted, we just thought about let's play some golf, and then you hit a couple good shots, and it just keeps you coming back.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad it was the first season, and since we were in third, fourth grade, where we didn't have travel ball, so we started playing golf.
For you guys, the Twins, are you guys excited to have a new coach now, or are you guys kind of sad that Dad's not going to be the coach anymore?
You go first. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's obviously he's not going to be our coach, but he's still going to be he'll probably, they record the practices, so my dad, he's a freak about basketball, so he'll probably sit there and watch it every day and say you should have did this or that and go off on us a little bit, but we still need that because sometimes we play a lot without our dad, and then he'll come in the gym and see us, and then he'll tell us something, you know, that we maybe like haven't noticed, like that we've been doing that he notices, and so he gets us right and like back on track and stuff like that.
It's just the trust that I'm grateful that they trust me still, because I've had a lot of friends of mine who have kids that are similar, like in younger years, and they would always ask me, like, how do you keep your kids playing? You know, so how do you keep them motivated to play? And it was just honestly the conversation. It's like collegial conversation, man. Like, even though I'm their dad and their coach, you know, we got to get better.
I'm really excited to play for our college coach because he just comes off as a guy who just wants us to ball for him. He doesn't come off of a really strict guy. You know, if you mess up, he's going to take you out. He just wants us to play free and just play how we play. So I'm really excited to play for Coach Maraska.
Yeah, he gets a lot out of his players. He's a tough young guy. He's going to be a great coach.
Twins, I want to ask a question I always ask my guests. If you were stuck on an island for 1 month and can only listen to 3 artists, who would they be?
Morgan Wallen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little country twang.
He's in the country.
I
hear that. I listen to Morgan Wallen all day.
Yeah, we listen to a lot of country music, and then
I would probably listen to Morgan Wallen.
Probably like Maroon 5 or something.
Maroon 5?
Yeah.
Listen to these boys.
Maroon
Go.
5 's
Yeah,
fire.
white boy music. We don't listen to a lot of rap, really.
Yeah,
we used
not a
to
lot of
when
rap.
we were younger, but not really.
Oh, Justin Timberlake.
JT.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake.
Justin
That's
Timberlake.
a good 3. We listen to like the same music, so yeah.
And
that's it.
honorable mention, Florida Georgia Line.
Florida Joe. Listen to these boys. So what's your pregame playlist look like? Are we playing that in pregame, or
I
are
don't
we
even
gangster
listen to
before the
music.
I
game?
don't listen to music.
Yeah.
I'll stay locked in a little bit, but I also try not to take the game too serious, because if you take the game too serious, that's when you start to overthink it. So before a game, I might mess around a little bit. But
Yeah, we used to play Brawl Stars with our teammates in the locker room, this game on our phones, and then that was it, really. Like,
But when it
if
came
you
to that
overthink it,
championship
you're
game,
screwed.
we were serious.
And I wish your wife was here. Mama Maxon was here, Coach. I'd ask her. But, Coach, I want to ask you, obviously, a wife of a coach has to sacrifice a lot. She married Chris Maxon, right? But then he became coach, and all that time went to the kids, the team. So how much did your wife have to sacrifice for you to be successful as Coach Maxon?
Many, many years. I could just...
There's been a lot of nights where us 3 have just been in the gym for hours, and she's just at home, like by herself or with my sister.
Yeah, she's really paid a lot, sacrificed a lot for this family, for these 2 mainly, man.
Doesn't go underappreciated, though. We try to tell her how much we love her all the time. We love our mom. So even though she's not with us all the time, we try to spend that quality time at home with her.
Yeah.
She's incredible, cooking
awesome.
and cleaning and
all the time.
just making phone calls and just being pretty, man, just being fine. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like when you got a beautiful wife and like just every facet of her life, she's just a bad chick.
Come on now. Now, boys, we're getting ready to go to college. You guys, you know how to cook, clean. You guys fend for yourself. How are we looking in that
My
department?
mom got us right. She taught us all that. Since a young age, we sort our laundry out, by color. We'll cook some food. We're not just those guys that'll cook some ramen. We might change it up a little bit.
Yeah, my parents have always said, like, if they died, like, tomorrow, would you be ready for the world? And I think we are. So they've been preparing us since we were, like, 7. Like, I remember, like, we were 7 or 8 years old driving in my dad's, like, we would sit in my dad's lap and drive the car.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Or we'd have
Teach
to
us how to write a check.
Yeah. Sort the laundry by color to go get a new pair of shoes at the mall, back when it was like $40 for some kids' shoes.
Coach Maxon, obviously, we see what you do. We've seen you out here doing it anytime you're out here on the court, Coach. But I want to ask, who do you do it for?
That's a great question, because at times in my younger years, I would do it for my future, or thinking that I could advance, maybe coach in college or try to get noticed. But then as you grow older, you become more aware and comfortable in your own skin of why you do it. And it's to give back to these kids, like I'm talking about the thousands of kids that I've coached, but also in my classroom. And, you just want to make an impact each and every day by giving people belief and confidence. And it's not a fake thing. If I don't believe in you, I'm not going to say I believe in you, you could do this. But you see so many great kids with so much great potential, but potential really doesn't mean anything. It has to come to fruition. So I've always tried to be like a humble servant. And I don't mean to be weird about it, because when I give my time, I'm giving my love, I'm giving my emotions, I'm giving everything I can to you while I can, or at that particular moment, you know what I mean? It's like I can't get distracted thinking about what's down the line or what's at home. I think that as a teacher, I've always had that good quality about being all in, locked in with my students and my team without having distractions, like maybe my car's broke down or kids are sick or got to pay a bill. I do it for just the legacy of wanting to be a good teacher and just give back, and just kids that can learn from my mistakes too, you know.
But Coach, and you can really tell that, you know, obviously when I say, you know, look at your life, son, that's his voice of Coach Maxon, but he would talk like that to every kid, but I knew what things he would say to me, he truly meant. He truly cared about me. He saw something in me that maybe I didn't see back then. Man, Coach Maxon is truly genuine. And the last one I want to ask, Coach, shout out to PSL, them Jaguars. I'm a Jag for life. Shout out to Kareem Rodriguez, very close with you. What's it like for you to have a friend that you call, a person that you call a friend in Coach Rod, and obviously another coach that you have to go against?
Coach Rod and I, at an early age, even when his wife was pregnant with Ryan, we had big plans because Ryan and the twins, Ryan was born in what, March?
He was born in April.
April.
19th.
And they were born May 6th, which is like 2 weeks difference. So
May 6th.
May 5th. Sorry. So we always had big plans of those, you know, of us getting together and coaching, and I could always rely on him. He texts me and calls me, how's it going, hanging in there, how's everything? We always throw things off each other. And even after games, like I'll see a game of his or he'll see mine. Even remember last year, they had a buzzer beater at half court to beat us. And I was just so happy for him because I know how much work he puts in, and he gets a lot out of his players. And those kind of coaches like him, Coach Pick, who's always been close to me, Coach Leatherwood, a guy I work for. It's such a small coaching community, but it's good to have guys you can rely on that will not be a yes guy and be honest with you and tell you what you need to improve on. And
boys, y'all grew up with my dog Ryan. Shout out to Ryan Rodriguez, Coach Rod's son. What's Ryan like for you guys, having a best friend who's also an enemy, I should say?
Well, Ryan's our brother, actually. So last year when he was at IRSC, my brother was kind of injured. He had a groin injury, so it was really just me and him. Me and him got really close. We were really close before, but we just got real tight. Like, it was understood that we were going to wake up every day and just go at it. So I would pick him up before his 6 a.m. workout. We would come in here and shoot, and then we're just brothers. Like, we can go months without talking, but, you know, our bond couldn't get any tighter with Ryan. Because we compete, we would cuss each other out, we'd fight, but then right after it's, you know, we're hugging, we're going out to IHOP, chilling.
Yeah, we've had some battles with Ryan. He's been in this gym a lot, and you know, we've been in PSL a couple times too. But when he was at IRSC last year, we would pick him up every day, and we would just be in this gym every single day. Yeah, every day on the machine.
I will say I'm sad. The last time I was here in a jersey, in PSL jersey, we lost. I fouled out in the fourth quarter. I was sad. I'll never forget. Coach Maxon looked at me and said, "Wyatt, I'm sorry to see you get out of the game, son, but I'm sure as hell glad you stopped shooting. Okay, get out of the game." And we lost it, but shout out, man. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, letting me come in here to the Fort Pierce Central Cobra. What is this, the Lair? What do you guys call this place?
Cobra Pit.
Cobra Pit. Welcome. Thank you for letting me come into the Cobra Pit. A real Jaguar in here. Any last words? Anybody you guys want to shout out before I let you guys get out of here?
I just want to say rest in peace to Carmine and Roman.
Absolutely.
And condolences to his family. Yeah. You know, we grew up playing basketball with him. He's an amazing kid. It's just shocked the whole city when he passed away. So we just want to send our love to his family.
Such a hard worker. Kid was hungry, man. Loved everyone. Just real simple, real kid. A kid that just wanted to learn and get better, man. Yep. And he was a real humble kid, too. So I really love him and his family. He meant a lot to our community as far as how hard he played, and he just constantly had the ball in his hand.
Absolutely. He was in the gym with us probably a month or two before he died, and it was just like, he's just such an awesome person. And it was like, when I heard about it, I was like, man, is this even real? Like, I didn't believe it at first. Mm-hmm. And then once I heard it, I was like, just like crying. It was crazy.
His moms and dad's amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Definitely tragic. He's definitely a Treasure Coast legend, a great hooper. I'm glad they did that foundation for him. They had a nice game for him to remember his name. And he'll live on through you guys, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. He's awesome.
Well, listen, man, I thank you guys so much. This is going to be episode 94 or 5, I believe, on the official Wydoe podcast. I got one of my idols, one of my mentors, and 2 of the best shooters of all time. I don't know if they're better than me, Might have to have a shooting competition one time to see if they can take the throne from your boy
There's
Wydoe.
Wydoe, there's me, and then there's Curry.
Think about I kinda like that. I like to be not too far away from Curry. Okay, the 2013 champ, the 2024-25 champs. We'll see what we can do. Till next time, it's your boy Wydoe. Thank you so much, Coach Maxon.
Thank
you to Christopher. Thank you to Christian Maxon, the Snipa Twins.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys so much. It's your boy Wydoe. Until next time, if nobody told you, baby, you look good.
Rockin' with a girl, play with me.